The Samsung Galaxy Book Go may be an entry-level laptop, but it still has a few surprises up its sleeve. For one, the South Korean tech giant has opted to use the ARM-based Snapdragon 7C Gen 2 processor rather than Intel or AMD hardware, which allows for increased battery life and cellular connectivity. Its starting price of £349 is also incredibly affordable. As such, there are very few competing products with similar specifications and price tags. Given the price, it's no surprise that there's nothing especially inspiring about the Galaxy Book Go's design. It comes in one color, a dated but inoffensive matte silver, and the chassis is made entirely out of lightweight plastic. It looks and feels cheap, but that's because it is, and this approach brings a few added benefits. For one, it's comparatively lightweight at just 1.38 kilograms, and its slimline design is only 14 millimeters thick. So despite being a well-proportioned 14 inches laptop, it feels practically weightless when carried around in a bag. Better yet, despite that plastic chassis, the build quality is actually very impressive for the price. The keyboard and chassis have very little flex when pressure is applied, and the screen has a 180-degree hinge that allows it to lay flat against a desk. However, that hinge isn't as stiff as we would like, and the display is prone to wobbling, with some noticeable sway even while just typing. You can easily access the innards by removing a few screws underneath the rubber feet, but the internal components are soldered in, so you won't be able to make repairs or upgrades. Size-wise, the Galaxy Book Go is larger and slightly heavier than the more premium Samsung Galaxy Book S and the M1-powered Apple MacBook Air, though both of these are considerably more expensive. It's also no less stylish than a Dell Inspiron 15, so while it's not the most glamorous-looking laptop on the market, it's no eyesore. Sadly, the same can't be said of the screen. Let's not beat around the bush here. This is up there as one of the worst screens we've ever used. Even to the naked eye, the display was noticeably dim and washed out, and the viewing angles are so poor that visibility only gets worse if you don't position both yourself and the screen in a specific way. This is largely because the Galaxy Book Go is using a TFT display. This screen technology was previously commonplace on monitors and laptops, but has been almost entirely phased out over the last decade. It's much more affordable than the now standard IPS panels and generally more energy efficient, but the trade-off in terms of quality simply isn't worth it. This was borne out in our testing, where it managed to cover a measly 52% of the sRGB color gamut. That is astonishingly low for a laptop in 2022, and extremely noticeable when actually using the device. It almost feels as though you're viewing the display through a pane of hazy, blue-tinted glass. Screen brightness doesn't fare any better. Our tests achieved a maximum brightness of 231 candelas per square meter, which is dim enough already, and on top of that, there's noticeable screen bleeding and inconsistency towards the edges of the display, with just 187 candelas per square meter being recorded closer to the bezels. The screen has a matte coating, presumably to help reduce glare when working outside in brightly lit environments, but this is effectively impossible to do given the poor quality of the display itself. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos.